Rise and shine, sleepyhead, time to get out of bed. It's 5 a.m. once again, there ain't no sleeping in. Rise and shine, just in time, see another Central Valley sunrise. And it's always nice here in the Central Valley at sunrise. Grab a cup of Joe, we all good to go. Good morning, Modesto. It's gonna be a beautiful day and it's headed straight your way. Rise and shine, just in time, see another Central Valley.
Good morning. Welcome to another Central Valley Sunrise. No, it's not Thanksgiving yet, but only a couple days away. But you know, this Saturday is a very special day. Friday, of course, is Black Friday, and I know people are already lining up at some of the bigger stores, waiting to get that very special item that they've put on sale. Well, okay, have your fun, go out there, join the mobs on Friday morning, and let's hope you get what it is you're looking for. On Saturday, let's relax a little bit. Let's go to some of the smaller local shops, some of the places that, well, you know, maybe it's that little market right around the corner. Maybe it's Ace Hardware, a local hardware store. Maybe it's going to some place like Beckles Candy. You know, the local shops, the small businesses. Maybe it's someone like our guest for today who is, a small bakery, a small restaurant, but provides the thing that most of us, I think, find more important or most important, and that's customer service. You know, they say that if you shop at local businesses, that your dollars turn over 3.5 times into the local economy. And that if you shop at the small businesses, 64 to 81 cents of every dollar you spend stays in your community. Now, that's a big parallel, a big difference, I guess I should say, from hitting the big box stores, which are in many cases corporate owned, and where the majority of the money goes out of the area. Yes, some does stay here in wages and some stays here in taxes, but the majority of it goes elsewhere. When you buy from a local business, when you buy from a small business, frequently what you're doing is supporting not only that business, but their suppliers, who are most often also local small businesses. Local restaurants, for example, pride themselves on using local produce, locally grown produce, locally produced items in their facilities, in their restaurants. You have local woodworkers who, well, you know, they're not going out in the backyard and cutting down the trees, but they're buying them from local lumber yards. So again, turning the dollars locally. You know, it's one thing to worry about going to a big box store where you might save 10 or 15 cents on an item. It's another to go to a local person, someone that you might see every day, someone that you know is putting their time, their effort, and their lives into making their business happen. It's those small businesses that provide the majority of employment in a community. It's those small businesses that provide the atmosphere of a community. It's those small businesses that make a community what it is. So this Saturday, buy small. We'll be right back after this message.
Every story needs a hero we can all root for, who beats the odds and comes out on top. But this isn't just a Hollywood storyline. It's happening every day all across America. Every time a storefront opens, or the midnight oil is burned, or when someone chases a dream, not just a dollar. They are small business owners. So if you want to root for a real hero, support small business. Shop small.
No one wants to stand in front of the stove for hours stirring, and if you step away, you can burn your food.
Hi, Anthony Sullivan here for RoboStir. It stirs so you don't have to. You finally have that third hand in the kitchen so you can get two things done at once. RoboStir's specially designed to cover every inch of the bottom of the pan so nothing sticks and nothing's left unstirred. It's battery operated, stirs for up to 4 hours, and stands heat up to 572 degrees. Now you can turn your back on your food and it won't burn. Call now and get the RoboStir for just $10. Order now and find out about free shipping. As a bonus, we'll double the value and also include the scoop and strain, the ladle with built-in strainer. Just pay separate processing. You get 2 RoboStirs and the scoop and strain, an $80 value, all for just $10. And remember, call now and find out about free shipping.
Call 1-800-957-3968 to get your RoboStir with a bonus RoboStir and scoop and strain. So call 1-800-957-3968. Call now.
You know, sitting in front of me here is our Thanksgiving turkey. I thought about cutting it and was told if I reached for it with a knife, I'd be pulling back a stump. This is an edible cake, 100% edible, and I know it looks like a turkey, but it's actually a cake. And our guest this morning is the owner of the business that produced this cake. I'd like to introduce you to Joanne Ramos from the, well, let's see, get the official title here. I know it as the Village Bakery.
Right.
But it's more than a bakery. It's also a full restaurant, breakfast, lunch, and now with a new dinner menu, right?
Mm-hmm. Yes.
Well, first of all, I know you're not the original owner of this place. You're far too young to have been the person who opened this bakery.
That's true.
So tell us a little bit about how you got into this, and I guess it was fairly recently, as I recall.
Yes. I had been working as a CPA in town, and I worked for Grumble B. Coleman, and I was very happy there for a long time.
Mm-hmm.
I started getting a little burnt out with the work. I loved consulting, and I loved working with small businesses. But when the economy turned, that kind of work, those big consulting jobs kind of dried up. People were
Right.
only able to pay for what the banks required of them and what the government required of them. So the things I really enjoyed about public accounting no longer really existed. And so I had started looking for independent, established businesses because I'm working as a single mom and I needed cash flow right off the bat. I didn't have the time to start my own business. So I started inquiring and discovered that this particular business was available. And I had worked with some restaurants from a consulting standpoint, but never even worked in a restaurant. So,
So you're taking a big step here, young lady, and jumping from a business that deals totally in numbers, and of course numbers
Right.
are a big part of any business, but going from essentially sitting behind a desk to running a restaurant with no restaurant experience?
That is true.
Okay, I have to ask you, as a CPA,
Uh-huh.
as a business consultant, if one of your clients had come to you and said, I'm considering doing this, what would you have told them?
I probably would have said to really, really rethink it. That's a very good question. And but my philosophy was that if I really understood business the way I claim
Right.
to my clients and all those years of advising people, if that had any validity, I should be able to walk into most industries and learn the industry over time, but the business aspect of it, I knew I understood what numbers to
Right.
watch, I understood what I needed to get my arms around, and eventually be able to run any type of business.
Right.
You know, it took a lot of hard work. It still takes a lot of hours of the day. I've never worked harder or longer hours than I do now, but it's I have such a passion for it, and I really love it so much that it doesn't necessarily feel like work anymore. So.
Well, and the other thing we have to be sure to let people know is you're not doing everything.
No.
You have cooks, you have chefs, you have bakers, you have, you're there,
Right.
and if there's a problem, you're the one that they come to.
True.
But in most businesses, no matter what it is, you have to rely on good people to do their part, and that's what you've done. You've got a great team over there.
I do. I feel very fortunate, and we've gone through some ups and downs, and we've had some false starts. Right now, I feel incredibly blessed. Everyone that's on my employee list deserves to be there, and I'm thrilled that they're there, and I try very hard to pass that on to them. I've been very fortunate and had instances in my life where the people that I worked for treated me very well, very respected, and very flexible. Like I said, as a working mom, a single mom, I needed flexibility, and I got that from the people that I worked for, and I feel like I need to pay that forward and make sure that my
Right.
people are well taken care of too.
Of course, as the owner of the business, you have no flexibility.
I have no. Well,
You, as you told us this morning, and we'll be talking a little bit more about this item later, you have over 100 of these pre-ordered, and they're all in your home right now, waiting to go to the restaurant.
yes, I'm not hosting Thanksgiving this year because my dining room table and kitchen table are covered with gingerbread houses and gingerbread sleighs, and
Wow.
yeah.
Now, I want you to give a shout out to your baker.
Okay.
Okay, I don't know if you've got more than one, but anyone who can create something like this. I watch Cake Boss on the Food Network and a couple of the other ones as well. And I'm totally fascinated by some of the things they do. And this, I cannot believe, I'm going to turn this so if we can get a couple other shots of it here. This looks like a turkey. It looks like a very delicious something, maybe a butterball turkey, but it's an amazing job. Now, who created this?
Well, my head pastry chef is Maria Mora. She came to me as an extern from the Institute of Technology a couple years ago, and I just saw amazing talent with her, and had the opportunity to promote her after just a very short time of just being on staff. And so she is the head pastry chef. The decorators are really the ones that are responsible for this particular thing. And I have Kathy, Bob, and Sarah. Kathy used to do salads for the former owner,
Okay.
and she expressed an interest in decorating when I took over. And so I said, well, give it a shot. And she was doing both things for a while, and eventually just her talent just outshone anything else she was doing. So she is one of the most amazing decorators. Bob he's worked for Old Time, he's worked for Hannah's, he's got a lot of experience, and he came to me after moving back to California. And so he's amazing. And Sarah also is an ex-intern and saw her talent right away. So those are the three people that make all of these beautiful creative things, and,
Wow.
and lots of fondant work and carved work. So some things that would stand up pretty well against some of the Food Network stuff that you see.
Well, and the important thing about having decorators is that essentially they can make almost anything.
True.
So if somebody has a special idea, if they want a Santa Claus cake, if they give you enough time and maybe a picture would be
Yes.
nice, right? But even without it, if they
Right.
just have an idea, your folks can create it.
Right. They can do pretty much anything back there. If someone comes to the counter and says, "Can you make a fire truck?" Absolutely, we can do pretty much anything and everything. We're a little bit bound by some copyright laws, so some things we can't do. If you come in and want a, replica of a Raiders helmet, we have to kind of improvise a little bit.
Right.
But
right.
everything.
Although I doubt that the Raiders would sue over one cake. But,
Well, yeah, you never know, but those are some
Right.
of the rules that we as bakery owners have to kind of be careful about.
Right, right. I know a few years ago, I mean, we've had things that kind of looked like characters from Star Wars,
Right,
but with enough variation that they weren't exact.
right. That's
So-
what I'm talking about.
Yeah, and so you can
Yeah.
get away with a little, a few things like that
Yes.
with the variations.
Right,
But as a bakery, one of the things that, cakes are a big part of your livelihood.
very much so. We do a case full of a variety of cakes every day that you can just come in and purchase, and we can write happy birthday or congratulations, anything you want on a cake, at the drop of a hat, and we require a 2-day notice for anything special order.
2 days.
Just 2 days, yeah.
That's amazing.
Yeah,
As I know, some of these things I would think, well, as I mentioned, I watch Cake Boss and a couple of the others on TV, and I see these huge things that they create. And of course, the more complicated something is, the more
Right.
lead time you need.
right. And we do ask for anything that's tiered or stacked, or any of the really elaborate carved cakes. We ask that you come in and they have an actual consultation with the decorator to make sure that we get exactly what they want, and
Right.
they're happy when they pick it up.
And of course, at the restaurant, and we need to tell people, Village Bakery, of course, is located in McHenry Village.
Yes,
It's right in the front section on the corner, right down the main
Right.
line in the middle,
right
right?
across from the clock tower.
Okay. And you have, with the cakes, you have a binder with photographs of a lot of the things that your people have produced over
Yes, we
the
do.
last couple of years. And so people can flip through this and say, well, I would kind of like something that looks like that.
Right,
So now I remember hearing about one that was actually a football field.
okay.
And it had the goalposts on each end, which I think somebody told me were actually made out of candy of some type.
Yes, they're really creative back there about finding candies and edible things that work. So we don't do anything like you would see on Food Network with foam or wood dowels or anything like that. It's all edible, and we figure out a way to make it look like what we want, but still be edible.
So the fire truck isn't going to drive itself in.
No motors or fountains or anything like that in anything we do.
Yeah. Well, that's coming.
Yeah.
It's like anything else, But all I can say is for those folks who are seeing this on TV, it not only looks great, but it smells good too.
Oh, good.
So, but have your decorators been stumped yet?
Not that I know of. Not that I know of. They haven't come to me with anything that they haven't been able to produce. So
maybe we'll do that as a contest. Stump the bakery.
that would be fun. I'm sure they
of course,
can pull
if
everything
you order
off.
the cake, you got to pay for it and pick it up.
Well, we do ask for a 25% deposit, and hopefully you do come back and get it. We've
Yes.
actually had a couple of instances where they didn't, and
And then they go in the big rack out front, and somebody comes along, hopefully, and buys them.
hopefully that's true. We've taken a couple of them that didn't sell, and we've donated them. And at the end of the day, our anything that's left goes half price on our half price rack. And then after that, if it doesn't sell the second day, we donate it all to Interfaith Ministries.
Wow.
So they come and pick up about twice a week.
Okay.
So we try not to waste anything.
So we need to make sure we hit that.
Yeah.
Got to look at that day-old table.
Yes.
because, there are some things that are actually better the second day.
That is true. That is true.
So, I'm a big bagel fan.
Okay.
And I know we were in there not too long ago, and I see you even have fresh bagels.
We do. We do.
So, it's some great stuff. Now, of course, this time of year, people are thinking about Thanksgiving, and so if you want a turkey cake to go along with your meal.
We will be making about 25 of these. I think we have orders for 25 turkey cakes.
Okay.
This one has been sitting in our display case, and it's generated lots of interest. So.
Yes. So the idea is, of course, today's Tuesday and Thursday is Turkey Day. Is it still possible for somebody to come in today and order one of these?
Unfortunately, probably not today, because tomorrow would be the day to pick it up.
Right.
And they do have like 25 of them to do,
Mm-hmm.
in addition to almost 200 pies and lots of rolls and lots of the other
All of
little
the regular
specialty
stuff.
things. Yeah, all the regular
Yeah.
things. The bakers put in a lot of hours in this particular week.
Right.
So,
think about your Christmas turkey
right.
and get your orders in. If you get an order in by the 15th, you'll be great.
Oh, plenty of time. Right.
And but the other thing, of course, is you can also think about all of the other Christmas packages.
Right.
Package cakes. I've
Right.
seen some of those with the beautiful fondant bows and all that type of thing on them.
Right. Yeah, there's lots of options, and
Yeah.
the decorators really could guide you in the direction of what you want. So,
And that's one of the things about bakeries, is they can be so innovative, so creative. And something, I have no idea what's inside this, but there are so many different flavors just in the cake
Right.
itself.
it's very true.
So-
We have lots of variety, and this is white cake with white
Okay.
buttercream. You could do any flavor cake in there with any filling that you wanted,
Mm-hmm.
and that's true of everything that we do, especially special order. We can do one layer, one flavor, and another layer, another. We've had people say, we don't necessarily have say a lemon cake. That's one that we
Right.
do all the time. We've had people come in and say, my grandmother loves lemon cake, and I can't really find anything that I want. And Maria back there has just come up, it's like, well, I'll find a good recipe, or she'll know something that she's done in her
Right.
past, and we'll whip it up. We try to do everything we can to accommodate the customer. We know people have other choices. They could go to, the chain stores, Costco, and pay a lot less.
Right.
But we will accommodate, and the quality is going to be there, and that it's
Right.
not a machine manufacturing, cookies that are exactly identical every single one.
Right.
We've got human hands back there making everything just as you would in your own kitchen at home.
Yeah, and of course the other aspect, as you say, with the cakes, you may be able to save $5 or something elsewhere, but you're not going to have it baked to your specification.
Right.
It may look similar to what you want,
Right.
but and that's, again, as I said earlier, that's the whole idea of the small business. It's the customer service aspect.
Exactly.
Well, the biggest factor, and I know, what is it, Red Velvet?
Mm-hmm.
Is apparently, I don't know if it still is, but a year or two ago was the cake to have.
The cake to have. It's very popular, and it's very good. It comes
Mm-hmm.
the standard with the cream cheese icing that's to die for. So it's very popular.
Okay. Well, and of course, that's available through the bakery there, and you could have a turkey cake made with the Red Velvet cake, and
Sure.
so it's essentially whatever it is the customer,
Right.
what they want.
Right.
And the important thing that you said, or one important thing that you said, is if you don't already make it, you'll find a way to do it.
That's very true. We try very hard to do that.
So, now, of course, in addition to cakes, and this time of year you mentioned pies.
Yes.
How many pies are your folks making this?
I don't have the final numbers because yesterday at closing was the cutoff to place the orders. But I know we were pushing around 200 pies.
Wow.
And,
And of course, we have the classic
classic pumpkin pie.
standard pumpkin, anything. This is, now, for those people who make their pumpkin pies from a can, they're not exactly the same, are they?
They're not exactly the same, no. There's a little more labor that goes into those, and they're pretty tasty. We've been known for the pumpkin pie far before I was involved in it, so, and that is the same recipe.
And I see a lot of different things with pumpkin pies where they'll take, for example, and they'll have coconut mixed in with the pumpkin, or, you know, different things. And the pumpkin, as opposed to being made from a can, you know, when you start with fresh pumpkin and work it that way, it gets a different flavor.
Yeah, and there's you know, nice variety of spices in there that just, it has a wonderful
Right.
flavor. And
So, and is pumpkin, of course, your most popular this time of year?
yes, by far.
All right. My favorite pie, and I have to tell you, and I don't know if you have it in the shelf or if it's a special order item,
Okay,
is a sour cream raisin pie.
I've never heard of it actually.
Oh, okay. Well, we'll have to come in and talk to your bakers.
Okay.
And see what we can do about, because I can tell you, it's really something.
Okay, sounds delicious.
It's a really special pie.
We're
and
always looking for things that are unique, so we'll be interested in seeing that.
So we'll see what we can do. But see, this is the thing that I like, is the fact that I've got something that I really enjoy, and you're willing to go out there to try and make it.
Sure.
So as opposed to if I walked into one of the big box stores and said, I want that, well, we don't make it.
It's true.
You know, and so again, that comes back to the customer service.
Right.
Of course, the other big things this time of year are specialty items. And I've got one sitting to my right here that we're going to be talking more about in our next segment. But you've got a lot of other things. Of course, the cookies. I had one of your cinnamon rolls the other day.
Oh, good.
And very, very, you hit that cinnamon center and it just really, really solid, really good.
Good.
Of course, everybody's thinking about Christmas cookies and all that kind of thing, and we're going to get into some of these after the break.
Okay.
But we're going to take a message from a couple of our sponsors right now, and we'll be right back with Joanne.
During your morning jog, do you need something to give you the energy to start the day? Well, come to Bagels & More, where they serve delicious bagels, pastries, sandwiches, and gourmet ground coffee. They are open for breakfast and lunch Monday through Saturday, 6 a.m. to 3 p.m., and on Sunday, 7 a.m. to 1 p.m. So come by Bagels & More, located at 1532 Lakewood Avenue, and try one of our gourmet coffees and delicious bagels today.
Small businesses are the lifeblood of our communities.
Absolutely crucial.
Vital.
They make it unique and they make you happy to live where you live.
Brings a little flair to the towns that we have.
On November 26th, you can make a huge impact by shopping small on Small Business Saturday.
One purchase.
One purchase is all it takes.
Pledge to shop small on Small Business Saturday. It will help support your community.
And that is a big deal.
It's pretty big.
So pick your favorite local business
and join the movement. I pledge to shop small at Big Top Candy Shop,
at Juno Baby Store,
Allen's Boots,
Sammy's Camera,
Tags Hardware.
You don't have to buy the whole store. Make the pledge to shop small.
please, on Small Business Saturday.
The Modesto Gospel Mission has offered life-saving care to the poor and homeless for over 60 years.
Your help brings hope to thousands of people each year with food, clothing, shelter, medical clinic, and addiction recovery.
Make the Thanksgiving banquet and bundle up a success this year with your donation, or drop off food and warm winter clothes.
The mission serves a big turkey dinner and gives away free coats, hats, gloves, and scarves.
One person at a time, one gift at a time will add up this Thanksgiving to thousands of meals.
Spread your thankfulness this year and help the homeless. See us on Facebook or homelessmission.org. The Minister Gospel Mission. We're building lives worth living.
All right, well, we're back with Joanne, and we were talking a little bit about some of the other specialty items that you have. And we've got, let me see, I probably need to, I hate to do this, but I'm going to move our turkey, if I can do so without eating it. And I want to show this little platter here, this little plate full of different kinds of things. Let me get the best shot right here. And let's see, starting from here, this is a bread pudding?
It's an apple spice bread pudding, yes.
Okay, now how does that differ from a normal, just a plain bread pudding?
Just has kind of fall spices, nutmeg and ginger and all of that in it. And it's a great way for us to use our day-old bread as well. We try to incorporate as much as we can to keep using everything that we have in our store.
Right.
And it is really, really good. It's one of our most popular items.
And of course, with the apples, most bread puddings that I've had don't actually use apples.
Right.
Of course, they all have raisins in them.
Yes.
Some have dates, but I'm not familiar, haven't seen one with the apple. I'm going to move that because it's tending to slide. Now, what is this square right here above it?
That's an opera cake, and it has mocha buttercream. It has a thin layer of sponge cake, several layers of sponge cake that are perforated and soaked with espresso, and then chocolate buttercream and chocolate ganache on the top. And that also has become one of the big favorites at the store. We've had that out when we've done, I think it was the Edible Extravaganza. We took that as our little pastry item, and that's become huge with us. So.
Okay, now are these items pictured, any of these pictured on your website?
Some of them are. We are just really getting the website up to speed and getting more pictures up there, but there are lots of pictures of our products.
Well, let's give folks the web address.
Okay. It's www.villagebakingcompany, all spelt out, .com.
Okay, so you get on there, it's got all the contact information.
Yes.
Is there a phone number that people can call to order different items?
Yes, 522-9057.
All right, and if you happen to be in the bakery from the time it opens at 6:30 in the morning,
right,
until now, since you're adding dinner, probably.
Well, Monday through Wednesday we close at 6, and then Thursday, Friday, Saturday now we stay open for dinner, and Sunday is 8 to 4.
So you're there 7 days a week.
Mostly, yes.
And probably about 9-10 hours to 12 hours a day.
In the bakery or at home working or running errands or making Costco trips or those
And how many
kinds of
kids do you have?
I have 2 daughters.
And have they said, who are you yet?
They're 17 and 22, and they both work with me.
Oh,
So
okay.
my oldest is one of the assistant managers, and she's a student at MJC. And then my youngest is a senior at Johansson, and she's working part-time. She loves doing the decorating. Some of the work that you see on the gingerbread houses, she's worked on.
Oh, great. So the gingerbread house is homemade, too?
Well, sort of, in the bakery, but with family. So.
It's amazing. Well, and that's one of the joys, though, is it is a family
Absolutely.
business.
They love it, and they see me a lot more now than they did when I was working as a CPA, for sure.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah, the unfortunate thing, of course, you mentioned MJC with them terminating their culinary arts program.
That's a shame.
You know, because I know they were really turning out some quality people, too.
They really were.
All right, well, next to the opera cake.
Well, we have our little chocolate mouse, and that has been a signature item of Village Baking Company from day one. It's a chocolate raspberry cake rolled into a ball, dipped in chocolate, little almond ears, And,
I have to turn this. Go ahead and keep talking.
and it's just a novelty little item. We sell an enormous number of those around Halloween, so it's just a fun little thing that kids love.
I just wanted to make sure we can get a good shot of that mouse because it does look like a little mouse. And then next to the mouse,
That is a pedophore, and it has a little cornucopia decorated on top there. And that's layers of cake and filling as well, and the flavors vary on those two.
okay. Now this, next to this, a big item for the hearty appetite.
Yes. It's a short dough cookie with royal icing and just a traditional cutout cookie. That's one of the things people have brought in, cookie cutters, and we'll do custom cookies for you if you're doing a baby shower or whatever. But they have fun with it back there, and they change it up every season, and we have some fun things for in between holidays, and do lots of soccer balls and things like that.
Okay, now short dough. What is that?
Lots of butter, sugar, and flour, basically.
So it's like a shortbread cookie.
Yes,
Okay.
Yeah.
And of course at the top here.
Same cookie, just with sugar instead of the royal icing on it.
Okay. And that one looks like it's in a leaf. Looks like
Yeah,
almost
fall-
a maple leaf.
A fall maple leaf, yes.
All right, great. And see, there's something else. You mentioned people bringing in their own cookie cutters. So do you have a collection of cookie cutters that have been brought to you over the years?
Well, we usually return them back to the customer with their cookies if it's a special order. But we
Okay.
do have a huge collection of cookie cutters, and we all, if we're out traveling around and see something really unique or new, we bring them back. And my employees are good at finding interesting ones, and we have been given some from customers.
Yeah, that's got to be a decorator item, with all
Yes.
these cookie cutters hanging.
Yes, it's a lot of fun. I mean, it's creative and fun.
Now, you mentioned earlier that you're launching a new dinner menu.
Yes.
And I'm assuming that this little item here is something from your current lunch menu?
It is from our current lunch menu. It is available at dinner as well, though. All of our lunch items are available at the dinner time.
I have to mention that this is warm and it smells great, and it's one of those things that may not make it till lunch. This is your signature chicken pot pie.
Yes, it is. With our scratch pie dough, and the filling is all done scratch in the kitchen.
And it's all, see, this again, we're talking about, using local items. You've got local production, and of course, we have Foster Farms, one of the biggest chicken producers in the world,
Right.
but it's a local company.
Right.
So, and again, it's an opportunity when you go to some place like your shop at Village Bakery. It's a chance to experience, what do they say, the special ingredients